Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Speakeasy Hanoi. This is episode number 5. I am your co-host, Edward.
Hello, Ran. My name is Yi. I'm a high school student in Hanoi.
Hello, Ni. It's good to see you. How are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good too. Today we're going to talk about the environment and environmental issues. I mean, when you think about the environment in Vietnam, what do you think about?
Just think about pollution.
Because yeah, probably.
Air pollution here is a big issue.
Yeah.
And as I know, it's like the Hanoi is in like the top 1 or top 2 most polluted cities in the world.
Yeah, it usually is pretty high up there. I think it's up with Beijing or some of the Chinese cities and some of the cities in India. Mm-hmm. They are usually a little bit worse.
It's ranked number 2 in the world.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that, but I know it can often be pretty bad. Has it gotten better over the years?
I think during the lockdown, it's got better because no one go out.
That's true.
Went out, but
true.
now I went everything back to simple. I can see the dust when I'm go out.
Oh, right. It's you see the dust. I smell the dust, and I sometimes feel it in my eyes when it's bad.
Wow.
But not outside of during the lockdown, things did get better. That was a positive thing with the lockdown, I guess. But without the lockdown, like maybe if we compare Hanoi to 5 years ago, has it gotten better, or is it getting worse, or is it the same?
I think it's getting worse. Because when back to 5 years ago, I never wear a mask when I go out.
Okay.
But back to this year, it's not because of cold, but I also wear mask when I go out because of the dust that make my skin worse.
Yes. I actually, when I first came to Vietnam, I got sick several times. I love Vietnam and Hanoi very much, but the pollution did make me sick. And I thought about leaving actually, but I went to a doctor, and the doctor taught me how to take care of my sinuses, my eyes and my sinuses by keeping it clean. And that helped a lot. So now I don't get sick anymore, but I do need to be careful when the pollution level is high. We use there's a system that's used internationally, I think. It's called AQI. When AQI is lower than 100, it's kind of okay. But when it's over 100, it starts to be bad. And when it's over 150, that's when I have to be careful. And many times, especially in the winter, it's over 150. It seems worse in the wintertime, doesn't it? The pollution and the dust. I wonder why that is.
No, I don't think so. I think it's worse in the summertime. In the summer, it's not in the winter.
Summer. Oh, right. Okay.
In the summer, people go out, and it's also really hot here in the north.
Right.
In the south.
I think all around the year, it's a big problem here. But maybe people feel it differently in different times of year. But for me, it's worse. For me, it's worse than the winter. Even though summer is too hot. I don't know. But is the government doing anything to make it better?
I don't think so. The government in Vietnam, I don't think they care much about the environment.
Okay.
Because as you can see, they cut the trees out, and I don't think that's an action to protect the environment. They cut a lot of trees in the city.
Yeah. So who does care?
Mostly the citizens. It's from the awareness of the citizens. I think so.
Right. So what, like you in your school, you are part of the environment club.
Right.
And what do you do in the club?
We mostly collect the rabbits around the lake, especially the West Lake, as you can see. Like many people come there to eat. They eat out, they eat on a street vendor, but they didn't put the rubbish to the trash. I think that they didn't have the awareness about protect the environment. We also do like poster and we walk around there, like for people to see that, to raise the awareness of the people.
Litter is another problem.
Right.
Isn't it? Yeah. But now is the problem with litter? Is it getting better?
I'm not sure, but like we feel like we can transfer the positive thinking to people. At least we are the young generation, so we transfer the message to the elder, and I think that they got the
right. So do younger people care more about litter and the environment than older people?
I think so.
Okay, so that's good for the future, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's good for the future when the next generation, because the next generation is usually, that's the generation that will bring about change. Most of the time. Right. the older people like me, we don't, we don't bring change. It's the young generation.
No, so I think you can. The elder, they can.
No, of course. I think I try to. I try to. But for society, for like the bigger picture in society, you're saying that the government is not doing very much and older people are not doing very much, probably with some exceptions, of course, but younger people care. So when you tell me that, that's the most important thing, at least for me, if we want to feel good about the future, that is that the younger generation cares about these things. So it would be better if more older people cared, and it would be better if the government did more things. But if the young generation is caring and doing things, then in the future there should be positive change. That's my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you too.
Okay, good. Yeah, air pollution is a problem, and I agree. Litter is a problem. When I first came to Vietnam, I was surprised at how easily people just threw trash and garbage on the street or in the lake. But I think it's getting better now. That's just I've only been here for 6 years, but I think it's getting better.
Oh, really?
You sound less optimistic than I do. So you don't think it's getting better?
I think it's getting worse. No, it's getting worse.
Okay. So why is it getting worse?
It's like more traffic and like more people using traffic in the.
Okay, because the population is higher.
Or it's right, and then the amount of trash is getting more and more. As like as you see, you go to the market here.
Yes.
And people using a lot of plastic bags.
Right.
And the amount of plastic bags, they just raised, they didn't get lower. So I think that's also a reason. Like there are many other reasons. And there's also an issue with like what to do. They don't have any idea to what to do with the trash here. They like burn it, but it's also really bad.
Right. Okay. So we have population. The population is growing a lot, so there's more people. So in that way, maybe it is getting worse.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, but I see like in the park, I see more places to put trash. When I first came to Vietnam in the park, it was difficult to find a place to put trash. But now I see places to put trash in public, like a public place to put trash. If I was eating something or if I needed to throw something away. So I see more trash cans. It sounds like I have more optimism. And it sounds like you're less optimistic than I am, but that's
Like
okay.
you often go to the park, but I never go to the park.
That's true. So maybe it's people who go to the park, but you're right. There aren't that many people going to parks. So maybe in the whole of Hanoi, the situation is getting worse. But we have young people. We have young people carrying more. So we have air pollution, and that might not be getting better. We have litter, and that also might not be getting better. What other kinds of pollution or issues affect the environment in Vietnam? Do people talk about noise?
Maybe.
Noise pollution?
I don't think it's a big deal much. Maybe I also the person who create noise. So have you experienced any noise pollution?
Oh, very much, because like construction, for example. Construction in near my house that can begin at 7 o'clock in the morning with very, very loud machines.
Right.
And so construction causes a lot of noise.
All right. I remember I also experienced once near my house. There's also constructions, and it's
Right.
work overnight. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and in some countries it's illegal to make noise at
Right.
night or in the morning,
It's
but not
illegal
here.
here.
It
It's
is?
also illegal here, right? But they still do it. They have specific, like, I don't know, like, but at that time they use some transportation to do the construction, and my dad told me that it is not allowed to do at that time.
Right.
So I think it's illegal, but they still do it.
But they do it anyway. Right, right. And getting back to litter, sometimes when I go to the beach in Vietnam, I'm very surprised to see a lot of plastic.
That is from tourism.
Right.
It's like people come to the board, they do travel on there, but they put trash to the sea. And it's also came from another island to another island.
Right. Okay. So it could come from far away.
All right. As I watch on TV, and and like during a autumn time, there will be a lot of trash there that the resort they cannot promoting their beach at that time. There's a lot of trash that they have to solve, and they don't know where it's come from. Like every year.
But we in the United States, we had when I was younger than you are now, we had a litter problem. People would just throw things out of their car on the side of the street, or they wouldn't think about litter. But we had a lot of public campaigns and information campaigns to tell people not to litter. And also there were laws that were written to, make for pretty big fines. And it could be, a couple $100 just for littering. So, people didn't then people stopped. And then people put the litter where it was supposed to go. So maybe something like that has to happen in Vietnam.
I don't think so. It's kind of hard to do that because we cannot control like who put the traps there. We cannot control it. So it's kind of hard thing. I think like everything came from the awareness of the people.
So people's awareness, right. So yeah, education is the important thing. You have to make people aware. What other things did you do? with the students? Well, before COVID, of course.
Yeah, as I told you, besides we go around the lake to collect trash, we also do mostly everything online because we want to raise the awareness of the readers, of the followers of our page. So we just post on it about the environment, like we update day to day about the environment.
Go back to talking about the page, but I don't understand what the page is.
So are we talk about it?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Like we posted on Facebook. We also we have our own page on Facebook. And when people come, our followers as well as the reader, we update day by day. Like they always post every day to notice about the environment today, the informations to know how dangerous it is and the warning of the war. So we want to raise people awareness because I think everything came from people. It's not about like the environment harm itself. We have to fix our actions to protect it.
Right, definitely. How many people were in your club?
Now it's like 60 or 50.
Okay, that's a good number. Right. But when you were active, you did that. Okay, good. All right, good. Well, I think this is a good discussion to teach people about, or to show people about what the issues with the environment, the issues that are being faced in Vietnam with the environment and what young people are doing in Vietnam. It's interesting that I'm more optimistic than you are. And I guess the future will give us the answer as far as what we're doing. Okay.
But I think the future might getting better in the future.
Yes. You think it will get better in the future? I think it will too. If young people care, it will get better.
Right.
I think that's the magic answer. It doesn't matter what the government is doing today, although I think the government could do more. And it also doesn't matter as much what older people are doing, although of course older people could and should do more. But if young people care, then it might take a little bit longer, but I think there's reason to be optimistic. Okay. Nee, thank you very much. We're going to say goodbye now. This was a nice discussion. It was nice to talk to you today about the environment.
So goodbye and thank you for inviting me today. I really enjoy talking about the environment.
Okay, thanks everybody. Goodbye.
Okay.